Welcome back, beautiful, beloved souls. This is mainly a commentary channel where I look at anything and everything to do with life and death through a lens, hence the name of the channel. Now, for those of you who are new, my name is Gem Stone. I'm a psychic medium and I am an author. I have a particular fascination with consciousness, and the last few days we've been exploring consciousness topics, and I thought I'd do another one today because tomorrow I won't be with you. So, are we trapped inside language? How humans created reality through words. In the previous video, I explored consciousness. I asked a question. What if every conscious being lives inside a world it can never completely step outside of? A human cannot experience being an ant. A dog cannot experience being a human. I cannot enter your mind. You cannot enter mine. We are all looking through our own windows into existence. But in this commentary video, I want to explore something even more fascinating, the thing that separates humans from almost every other species, language. Because perhaps we are not only trapped inside our own consciousness, perhaps we are also trapped inside our own words. The first human words. Imagine the first humans before written language, before dictionaries, before countries had names, before the word tree existed. A human sees something tall with branches and leaves. They point. They make a sound. Perhaps others begin using that sound. Over generations, the sound became a shared symbol. A word is born. But here is the strange thing. The tree did not become a tree because humans named it. It was already there. The word tree belongs to humans. The object belongs to nature. The label and the thing itself are not the same. Yet, once we created the label, we begin organizing our entire reality around it. The mystery of thousands of languages. One of the greatest human mysteries is language diversity. If humanity shares common ancestors, if all humans are connected, why do we have thousands of different languages? Why does one group call something tree, another arbre, A-R-B-R-E, I hope I pronounced that, another arbol, another balm? The object is the same. The human experience is similar, yet the symbol changes. The ancient story of the Tower of Babel describes humanity once speaking one language until God confused their speech and scattered them across the earth. Whether someone views this as a literal event or a symbolic story, it captures something profound. Humans have always wondered, why are we connected yet divided? Modern linguistics suggests languages changed as human groups separated. Communities developed their own sounds, grammar, expressions, and ways of describing their worlds. Language evolved alongside culture. But the deeper question remains: does language simply describe reality, or does language shape the reality we experience? Words create human worlds. Think about money. A piece of paper. What is it? Physically, it is paper. It has fibers, ink, a particular size and shape. But humans gave it another meaning. We decided that this paper represents value. We created an agreement, a belief, a system. And because millions of people share that belief, the paper became powerful. The same could have happened with anything: rocks, shells, metal. Anything could be a symbol of exchange. The object itself did not contain the meaning. Human consciousness placed the meaning upon it. This is one of the greatest powers of language. It allows humans to create shared realities. The world we build together. Now, before I talk about the world we build together, around about 1980s, I wrote a sociological book called The Social World, and I then published it about a decade ago. So this agrees with the book I wrote. So let's get on to the next one, The World We Build Together. Society is filled with things that exist because humans collectively agree they exist. Money, countries, laws, titles, social roles, status. Many things in human civilizations are not found in nature. They are created through shared understanding. This does not mean they are imaginary. Money is very real. A passport is very real. A law can change your life. But their power comes from collective agreement. They exist because millions of minds participate in the same meaning system. The tree does not know it is called a tree. Now, consider a tree. Humans call it a tree, but does the tree know this? Of course not. The word tree exists inside the human consciousness. The tree exists independently. We could have called it anything. We could have called it Zan, More, Fibber. The tree would still grow, the planet would still turn, the sun would still rise. The name is ours. The existence is not. This raises a fascinating question. How many things around us have we mistaken for absolute reality when they are actually human interpretations? Animals and their own reality. Humans often say, the dog barks, but that sentence is already human interpretation. The dog is not thinking, I will now produce a bark. The sound is part of the dog's communication system. A dog experiences the world through smell, hearing, body language, and instinct. A dog's reality is not organized around human words. A dog does not think that is a tree, that is a car, that is a human. The dog experiences, humans label. Neither reality is necessarily superior. They are different ways of interacting with existence. The problem with translation. Language also, it limits us because words compress experience. Take the word love. We use one word, but think about how many different experiences that word represents. The love for a child, the love between partners, the love for a friend, the love for an animal, the love of humanity, the love of one place, the love of an idea. I love chocolates. I love singing. I love conspiracy theories. I love music. I love my dog. I love you. It's just one word, thousands of experiences. Perhaps language is like a map. A map is useful, but nobody confuses a map with the entire landscape. Is English the language of reality? Today, English is one of the world's most influential languages. But why? Is it because English is somehow better? No. Languages become dominant because of history, power, economics, politics, migration, and global influence. The spread of the British Empire played a major role. Later, the economic and cultural influence of countries such as the United States strengthened English globally. A language becomes powerful because humans give it power, just like money, just like symbols, just like many structures of society. Time and human labels. Each time reveals how humans organize reality. We divide time into seconds, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, and years. These systems are incredibly useful. They allow civilization to function, but they are human measurements. The universe does not carry a clock. Physics has shown that time is not as simple as humans once imagined. At third-year university level, I studied Einstein's theory of relativity, which demonstrated that time depends on factors such as speed and gravity. Some interpretations of modern physics suggest a block universe where past, present, and future all exist within a larger structure rather than time flowing like a river. Whether that interpretation is correct remains debated, but it reminds us of something important. Our everyday experiences of reality may not reveal the complete picture. The power and limits of language. Language is one of humanity's greatest creations. It allows us to share ideas, preserve history, create art, develop science, write fiction and non-fiction, express love, but language also creates boundaries. When we name something, we often believe we understand it. But naming is not the same as knowing. A word is a doorway, not the entire room. The word consciousness is not consciousness. The word love is not love. The word tree is not the tree. The word ant is not an ant. And I just have to share, it amuses me that we called the word a fly a fly. Did we name it a fly because it could fly? And again, fly is a word. That doesn't describe flying. The map is not the territory. In closing, perhaps humans are not simply creatures who discover reality. Perhaps we are creatures who interpret reality. And again, the word human, we could have called ourselves anything. So we are creatures, perhaps, who interpret reality. We receive information, we organize it, we label it, we create meaning, and then we live inside the world we have created. The ant sees the world through an ant's reality. The tree experiences the world through being a tree. The dog sees the world through a dog's reality. The human sees the world through language. Maybe the greatest challenge is remembering the reality we describe is not always the same as reality itself. The universe existed before humans named it. The earth existed before we called it Earth. The stars existed before we gave them names. And consciousness existed before we found a word for it. Perhaps wisdom begins when we realize our words are not the universe. They are simply the tools we use while trying to understand it. Okay, so my book, again, if you're interested, is The Social World. And again, I want to share that although I majored in sociology, I was very lucky because when I was doing psychology, I was getting distinctions, and sociology, I'm lucky if I pass. And it was because the belief sociology, I believe, this is my belief, okay? Both psychology and sociology are just elaborate theories, a little bit more than philosophy. Some psychology theories were developed by a man watching what his children went through, Piaget. So, for me, society begins with the individual, but my sociology lecturers used to say, no, you're not looking at the broad, sociology is the broad structures and, socialization, but I would always say it starts with the individual. Without the individual, there's no society. Without the individual, there's no language. Without the individual, there's no meaning. What do you reckon? Please, if you're going to drop a comment, do so respectfully. If only the world was more tolerant, less judgmental, and again, they're just words that we've attached meaning to. Instead of the word love, we could have gone ba 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 ba. And we gave each other names. So I would recognize you and you would recognize me. Even the word I gives it meaning. The word I gives meaning that here's this consciousness. And the word you is you. It's just a silly word for saying here's this consciousness experience their own reality. But we could have called it anything. All right, please be kind to each other. Smile at a stranger. You might just save someone's life. And remember, it is my belief we are the universe experiencing itself. Every time you hurt or harm another, you are hurting yourself. So take care of yourselves because you matter. You are special. Thanks again for watching. Love, light, and blessings. See you on the weekend. Bye.